Hey everybody, and welcome along to this week's edition of the Irish Golfer Podcast. Peter Finnan here, and joined in studio by Rona McNamara.
God, I'm tired.
A clean-shaven Rona McNamara.
Clean shaven, yeah. Had to shave for JJ.
Yeah, loads to get stuck into this week. I loved every minute of this.
This was the last 3.5 hours that were unbelievable. Once that rain came, it was an absolute godsend. It was just good. Pure nut stuff. But before we get into it, I have a short statement I've prepared.
Yeah.
And it's golf related.
Perfect.
Just goes out to everybody in Tralee Golf Club, Ballybunion, Dukes, Waterville, Dingle, Kenmare, Killarney Golf and Fishing Club, James O'Donoghue, Tony Lean of the Irish Examiner. Your boys took one hell of a beating.
Oh God, that's not golf related.
It's golf clubs.
Mead B. Kerry, for anyone that doesn't know. Right. let's jog quickly on from that. The man's losing the run of himself. Before we do get stuck in, though, we do have for this month and next month new podcast sponsors as well. So this podcast is brought to you in association with, very fitting in the week that's in it, Cleveland Shrixon Golf. So on the back of JJ Spaun's victory, obviously a Cleveland Shrixon staff player. So if you want to look at what he is gaming, you can visit eu.dunlopsports.com. But for those that don't know, he's using Shrixon ZXI 5 iron in his 4 iron. Then the rest of his bag is the pro setup with the ZXI 7 irons, 5 iron to pitch and wedge. He uses their wedges. Have you used Cleveland wedges before, actually?
No.
Oh, they're seriously good. They are seriously good. So he is a little bit of a mix of wedges. So he's the RTX Zip Core wedge in a 50. He's the RTX wedge in a 50 in full. And then he has the RTX 6 Zip Core in a 60-degree low bounce on his wedge. And the ball he's using is the Shrixon Z-Star Diamond. So they've 3 golf balls in the Shrixon lineup of balls. They've your Z-Star, XV, and your diamond is the middle ball, and then the standard Z-Star. So the diamond a little bit softer, sort of in between the 2 balls. So really good ball.
It's been some couple of weeks for Shrixon. Ryan Fox last week, JJ this week. They must have like the best winners to sponsor ratio going at the moment, like with Hideki, Shane Lowry, Brooks, like some stable they have going.
Oh, they do. They have a seriously good stable, all right. No, but do check out their stuff. Visit eu.dunlopsports.com and you can see everything from Cleveland and Shrixon. There's plenty of fitters throughout Ireland that do Cleveland Shrixon stuff. We actually, I'd say per head of capita, we probably sell more Shrixon balls than any other country in the world.
We probably do.
Yeah,
per head of capita. So many of them, like. So many,
and they're good.
brands.
They perform really well. Everything from your Z-Stars right down to your Ultisofts and stuff like that. So they have a ball for every category. Yeah. It's not all just the pro stuff.
Yeah, you gave me the Z-Star XVs at the start of the year. I like them, I have to say.
Yeah, that's the ball. Shame
I lost them.
Shane's ball. Right, so yeah, they'll be with us for the next 2 months. We'll be doing stuff, and then we'll be back to our friends at Flogas. Right, US Open, Oakmont. Unbelievable week. Talk to me. There's so many different areas. Let's go golf course first. You had your doubts last week. Little bits,
yeah. For a long time, I was thinking, God, 4 under is just the worst thing ever. I wasn't having it at all. I wanted +2, +3 and everything. But like, in fairness, like the golf course definitely won in the end. I know they did set it up more difficult over the weekend with the pin positions, but once that rain came in, it was just utter chaos. It was like watching 25 handicappers at the best of times there last night. One thing I would say about the long rough and everything, takes a bit of the skill out of the game, I suppose, and that's maybe why it condenses the player who's 80th in the world and Scotty Scheffler at number 1. Like, it brings everybody closer together, which is probably why for a long time the big names never really showed up. For a long time this looked like a bit of a PGA Tour event, but because the golf course was so good, it didn't feel like the PGA Championship last month. It felt a lot more than that.
Yeah.
And I think they served up just a sensational climax. And you have to tip your hat to JJ Spaun. Like, this is no fluke. He's been threatening a win all year. The fact that it's a major is obviously a bit surprising, but the drives he hit into 17 and 18 under the circumstances are as good as you're going to get all year. Yeah. Like, we laud Scheffler for, keeping the hammer down, keeping the foot down. Spaun did just that last night.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. No, sticking on the golf course, I loved the USGA. Just got this bang on, absolutely spot on. Like the throwback to having like a drivable par 4 17th, right where that landed in the wheelhouse of the tournament. How it had a massive impact on how the tournament was won. We went then longest par 3 in major championship history. The rough. I agree with a lot of what you say, but I just it was a different test this week. It's something that players, like we said, they're not, like last week, Brandel's quote on, they're not looking to embarrass the best players in the world, they're looking to find them. And they actually did find the best player this week on this golf course. We'll go through all the stats and the JJ stuff, but it was golf course related, why we did that and how we came to that. And yeah, the rough is tough, and the rough was cabbagey all around, but it was so consistent from tee to green that no matter where you went in the rough, you knew you were in trouble. So then I would ask questions, well, why are you in the rough? Because they know no other way of playing. And it's a throwback, and McGinley hit the nail in the head for me as the exam just didn't suit the people sitting it this week. Yeah. And I think he was so spot on with that our modern players, there's so many deeper levels of this that you can go into, and like rollback is one area, and there's so many wormholes you can get like bogged down into. But like the biggest question for global golf over the next 20 years is what do we define as a professional golfer? What do we reward? And we've gone down the last 20 years of rewarding brute strength, power and distance. And that's what this course highlights, that you can actually rein that back with a golf course. And I love that. I loved just the simple, the pure. I thought this was pure golf. It was really good. I know it's not for every week. Like if you were to put $50 million up and have that golf tournament hosting a PGA Tour event, I'd say none of the top 10 players in the world would come.
Yeah, probably not.
They
well, for 50 million.
No, but even for 50 million, that's what I'm trying to highlight. They've too much money. They wouldn't come. But yeah, it was everything. It was everything I want to see more of. I wouldn't like it every week. And there's a lot to be said for, once a year. I would like to see this 4 or 5 times a year. But outside of majors, like you're saying, you just won't get players to play in it unless there's consequence. But no, I loved every bit of it. I think Oakmont has stood the test of time. What Gil Hans has done, the changes, the tweaks, has brought it back. And yeah, they've put it up on a pedestal again after the changes, and long may it continue. I'm all for this type of golf course.
Yeah, like there's a reason that it's had 10 US Opens. At the Roll of Honour list as well, before JJ Spaun won it. Sorry, JJ, but you're just not in the same league as some of the winners they've had in the past. Like it just shows, it's a testament to the golf course as well, and the changes they made have been unbelievable. I'm a bit disappointed that nobody was able to play the 8th hole after the deluge of rain. Like lads would have been coming up short of that green, because not many people were able to reach 17 either, and except for JJ, of course. But I really enjoyed it. The last 3.5 hours were absolutely mental stuff. I think at the start it was a lot of bottling going on at the start. I think not a lot of major champions were up there, and everybody was struggling at the start. Then when the golf course actually got properly tough with the rain, I mean, it was survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
And in fairness to JJ as well, he hung around after those 5 bogeys and 6 holes. He reset himself after that rain deluge, and like he just kept making pars. Like he hung around 1 and 2 over for a long time, while everybody around him was just fluctuating up and down. He was the one constant, and I think he deserved his win.
100% he deserved. Like, he was the best player of the week. On that golf course, he's the best player. Like, and how I like to look at it, like whatever, we'll talk about, he finished birdie finish to win a major. Only man under par for the tournament. They're different
USGA
stats.
will be raging someone finish under par.
Yeah, but
next year is plus 10.
No, but it was good. But what I really liked about this is we seen every element of Oakmont. So we seen a flat calm Oakmont on Thursday with not much going on. JJ was the best player that day. We seen a firm Oakmont on Friday. JJ was the best player. And we seen a sodden, wet, like shitty fairways after a deluge of rain. And when they came out after that restart, JJ was the best player there as well. So, like, statistically, you can look at all the stats, and we get lost in stats every week on these type of things. But, you like ignoring the stats and just looking at the man that got the ball into the hole in the least amount of shots in all of these conditions and everything that Holy God threw at them, as well as the USGA. He was the best player.
Yeah, and he's playing like the ultimate pressure cooker situation as well. I know McIntyre shot his 68, but he was coming from the pack. It's a completely different set of circumstances compared to when you're teeing off on the Sunday with a genuine, it's in your hands chance to win. Like McIntyre was going out hoping to shoot a score and lads would come back, which is obviously what happened. But no, Spaun was consistently over the 4 days the one real constant. Other than probably Sam Burns and Adam Scott, he was the one that kind of stayed up there throughout. So he definitely deserved it. And I'm happy he got his 64-footer as well in the last. It was a fitting end because when he hit the putt, I was thinking, oh God, this is going to lag up so close, tap in, anticlimax, and then 2 or 3 feet from the hole. I was like, shit, he's got it. And in it went. Fair play to him. Brilliant.
And that was the longest putt hold in the tournament for the week.
Yeah, it's fitting.
The putt that he held to win the tournament.
He was the first bogey-free round of the week, and he gets the longest putt of the week. It was fairy tale stuff.
He's one of very few players. Like, if you go through his stats, right, looking at his stats, going back, JJ Spaun by the numbers, so 279 total score, no eagles, 15 birdies, 14 bogeys, no doubles.
Yeah,
which
that was
is
the difference.
Seriously impressive. Hit 35 of 56 fairways, 51 of 72 greens. His approach proximity was just outside 40 feet. He made 123 putts total for the week is what he had, 401 feet of putts.
Yeah, he led the field for footage of putts made.
Yeah.
And he got a long one as well. I think maybe it was 11 or 12 to really kind of get him back in the groove after that restart as well, which was massive.
And like even in his final round though, scrambling, 0 for 6. Didn't get up and down once.
No.
It's mad. After missing 6 greens, like didn't get up and down once. But yeah, second in strokes gained putting, 26th in strokes gained off the tee, 20th in stroke gains around the tee. Around the green, he was 3 over on the par 4s for the week, even par on the par 3s, and 4 under on the par 5s. That's like
4 under for the par 5s is really good considering there's only 2 of them on the golf course, and they were playing over 600 yards long, and on Sunday they were near impossible to reach into. I actually thought when he drove onto the 17th, this was the only time I was probably off the couch. I thought it was going to win the hole, the drive.
Yeah,
it was bang on line. I would have loved if it did. But like, it's funny talking about the 17th. You mentioned it there, how pivotal it was in the championship. Neil Shipley, I think he's an amateur still.
Yeah,
he's a member at Oakmont, and he was saying how 17 is probably one of the best holes in major golf, and it definitely is. Considered just in terms of where it comes on the golf course. Yeah,
it'd be like getting the 10th at Riviera and putting it as a 17th.
Yeah.
That sort of analogy. No, I agree with that. No, it's risk reward, and like we'll get into Bob Mack and stuff like that. But I loved hearing him shouting the drive down. Be as good as you look. It's so good. Like, but no, like I can't. Like anyone that listens to this podcast knows what I like. I love a good underdog. I love that story, and that's what JJ Spaun is. When I seen his wife being interviewed afterwards as well, and was asking like sum him up, and he goes, well, we've always felt like we were the underdogs. We've never really, been given the chances. Or even JJ growing up, when you look at his career, like he's worked his arse off for everything. Didn't come from a silver spoon. Like he's not a Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas.
Here we go.
Cut off that. No, but
he's not one of the frat boys.
He's not one of the frat boys, But I just like to see a guy that's leveling up. This is his 8th year on tour, and it's only his 8th major appearance. Like, we got back this time last year with him, and he's ranked behind Seamus Power in none of the majors.
He was considering giving it up.
In none of the majors, though, last year at all. And turns his season around. Like, before this, his best finish at a major was tied 23rd in the 2022 Masters. And, like, only 8 major appearances to date. He's missed half the cuts. It's just so good, and to put that in context, that he was ranked behind Seamus Power this time last year, just lets you know how much this guy has leveled up. He's had a serious attitude change towards the game, he said. He's a diabetic as well. He struggles out on the golf course medically, gone through sort of ups and downs with that. But it's I just have so much admiration and stuff like that. Like, he played in all the alternate major events, like the Barracuda and all that last year as well. His iron play has separated him. Like, he, in the last 6 months, he's just outside, like, since the start of the season, just outside the top 10 in iron play on tour. And he's added a bit of length, and he's improved his putting, obviously, by the stats this week. Like, it's just the perfect blend. But his attitude was the big thing. We said it's patience last week. Attitude, acceptance. Like, when he walloped the flag on 2 and it went off the green, he was asked about that afterwards, and he said, like, how do you frame that in your mind? When it hit the flag and it came back off the green, it didn't land the divot. Yeah. That's the way he looked at it. And
he's probably right as well, because there is like a big collection area as well for hitting drivers off the tee.
Yeah.
But even like on TV, when you're watching on the television, you're looking at body language at lads, and especially someone like JJ, unheralded battler, as you said. He starts off terribly, nothing's going right, 3 bogeys in a row, 5 bogeys in 6. And I looked at his body language, and I never felt, it looked like he was thinking of nothing.
Yeah.
Like, just looking at him, there was this deadpan look in his eye, and I was like, this guy isn't wilting. He looked like he just had it in his mind.
It's just along. Great determination.
He was thinking of nothing. Hang around. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
And he did. Like, he was on 1 and 2 over for ages after that start. And yeah, really, really admirable way to win it as well, because so many players who were better than him would have had that start and just wilted.
Yeah.
And been gone.
And it's just the way he summed it up. I tried to continue to dig deep. He said about the brutal opening stretch they went through, because his front 9 was horrific. Like,
he didn't do much wrong though either. Like,
no, but still 40 went out in 40. Like, no one's ever won a major before that, going out in 40 on a Sunday. So 40-32, his spot. That was like, it's crazy when you look at the difference on front 9, back 9. But yeah, he just summed it up. I just tried to dig deep. I've been doing it my whole life. I think that's been the biggest difference this year, has been me able to do that. Fortunately, I dug very deep on the back 9 and things just went my way. And here we are. Here I am with the trophy. I love that. Like, and even when McIlroy beat him in the playoff, like, he didn't back down or anything like that. He just got a really difficult shot, judged the wind wrong. He executed the shot. He hit a really pure shot. Like, it's just got the wind wrong. It switched on him a bit, and that was it. Game over. So he didn't choke or anything like that. Like,
I was one where, because they had to come back on the Monday for that playoff. That was one where coming back from a delay didn't suit him, whereas he got the rub of the green with the rain last night. In fairness,
yeah,
and like, he was probably the one player as well who needed that break too.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with you. Like, I would go as far as to say, controversially, I'd say if they didn't have to go to a Monday finish at the Players, Spaun probably would have beaten McIlroy.
I think
as
so,
good
yeah.
and all as he was. If they played straight after that round, Spaun probably beats him. He was just
he was just on a roll at the time,
yeah.
and all the momentum was with him and everything.
Yeah, but yeah, it was really, really good, really good. I just loved reading his quotes. Like, I grew up watching golf. Yeah, everyone did, but I was a young kid, just wanted to play golf, loved golf. It was a passion for me growing up. I always played. Parents, one thing led to another. He wasn't groomed to be a professional golfer, is how he summed it up. Wasn't put through academies, didn't play like the junior golf for much of it. He just kept it all local and just helped him realise his potential that way. So, no, really, really good. I can't heap enough praise on JJ Spaun. And yeah, like, it'll be unusual to see where he goes from here. We'll get into like reassessing goals, I'm assuming, now when we talk about someone else. But where he goes from here now will be night and day, because I think he actually kicks on. I think this is just the start for JJ Spaun. He's that type of steely player. He will be a constant for the next few years in around big tournaments. I'm not going to say he's going to win more majors, but he'll
hang around. Like, he doesn't go away, and
no.
That's why
his game is good.
But that's why the win was no fluke. Like, he's been thereabouts all year. But yeah, I agree with you as well. Like, he'd be on the Ryder Cup team as well. I wouldn't fancy playing him. He has that kind of Russell Henley skill set that would probably make you a nightmare to play against.
We're gonna pump them in the Ryder Cup.
Do you think?
Oh,
All the wrong lads are winning.
this is the thing, and all the right lads for us are getting up there. Like even Bob Mack, like we're gonna get stuck into Bob Mack, but look, yeah, Spaun I'd be wary of, definitely Ryder Cup. Mav McNeely, Byrne, Griffin, Novak.
Never mind Burns.
No, but Burns, like they're all middle.
They're all grand.
Even Bradley himself, like
he's gonna pick himself.
We're gonna pump them. We're gonna pump them in New York. It's gonna be deadly. Right, yeah, we're gone from last week supporting America in
and now we hate them
in the Walker Cup, and now we're gonna do damage to these feckers. Oh, stuff. Yeah, no, it's good. Right, who else? Bob Mack,
brilliant. Someone who actually I spoke about it earlier in the week to someone saying he's a good lad for the majors at the moment, trending nicely in them, and his 68 was unreal considering he had a bad start to the final day. He played his last 10 holes in 3 under par, and
his last 12 holes.
Pretty much most of that was in the shit.
Yeah.
He deserves massive credit. His reaction at the end as well in the score intent was class. Like fair play to him, because no doubt you're probably disappointed as well. But no, it was classy stuff. And the way he played was just amazing.
We didn't get to see much of it. That was my thing.
We only got to see him putting, really.
Yeah.
And he held his fair share, to be fair to him. But yeah, genuinely, like my tip for the Open before this week would have been Bob Mack, and I'm doubling down on that now. I think he's a great chance.
At Rush, yeah,
he's a great chance.
Yeah, and he's just, it's mad. He's a different part. I know you were at the last Ryder Cup and you followed him around in Rome as well, and he was like, Justin Rose deserves a lot of credit for what he did that week.
Justin Rose has made him.
He just because Bob was so nervous that whole week, and
it's been the making of him.
It has been the making of him, and he is now a big time player. Like he is like. And he's the guy that in a couple of years when he gets, like if he does get that big major win or he keeps doing on the career progression that he's doing, he's going to be the perfect guy to throw his arm around some other guy coming through. It's what we do well in the European setup.
Yeah, it's funny, like, because we said at the time, if he hadn't qualified for the European team automatically, you wouldn't have picked him. It's actually... I don't know, there's a nice...
And now he's undroppable.
There's a nice little bit of symmetry coming here as well. His best major finish before last night was tied 6th in Royal Portrush in 2019.
Oh, I hear to get a bit of a Harris English vibe about this. Oh, no, let's not talk about Harris English. It was a pure letdown. Pure letdown. No, I'm going to give you... I doubled down as well over the weekend. It was so bad. I put money on Harris English at the start, right? I was like, right, go and chase it now. Harris, when I got to Saturday morning, I seen the rain. I said, right, English is too far out of this. I need to do a double or something, or get on and have a look at in-play betting. And I backed Rory McIlroy.
For God's sake.
No, hear me out. Rory McIlroy to finish in the top 10 was 3-1. And he was only 4 shots off it. And he was going out early. And it was a wet golf course. That was my thinking, and I doubled that up with Scheffler to be in the top 10. I was getting like 5-1. I was like, right, here we go. Here's my money back. These boys do not finish outside top 10s in golf tournaments. Then Rory just had a mare on the Saturday again. Then comes out and shoots the round of the day, like low round of the day, 67 on Sunday. Ended up finishing like tied for 18th or something. Couldn't have been any worse.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the bookies always win.
They don't when it comes to Cam Young. 70-1.
Did you actually back him?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
I thought you were messing last week.
No. I never mess when it comes to Cam Young.
You told me last week Hatton didn't have the Headfort.
He didn't in the end.
You were proved right.
Well, in fairness to Hatton, his attitude was actually not that his attitude was great, but his reasoning for his attitude, he said, because he was asked about that, and he was like, sure, everyone else is going to be losing the head as well. It brings them all down to my level.
Yeah.
And he was right. And he got a bit of a bad break on 17, just at where that drive finished up.
He did. Did you see he went mental at one of the journals asked him that, said, oh, you were very unlucky on 17. He's gone, what do you mean I was unlucky? I wasn't unlucky. It was a bad shot. It was in the rough. Like, that's happened all week to everybody. That's a stupid question. He just took the head off him.
And then he's so delighted for Spaun because he was watching Spaun's sport while he was doing that interview, which is his reaction to that was great as well. Fair play, because you would have thought he'd be the one guy who would be bullying. Yeah. Absolutely bullying. And he was as delighted as anybody for that putt to go in.
I've always been Hatton annoys people. I've always liked Tyrrell Hatton. I don't know why.
I've always liked him, yeah.
He just has that gritty, steely thing about him. And I like the fact that even though he's gone to live, every time he tees it up on the European Tour or every time he comes to a major, he actually performs. He's kept his world ranking from a distance. He cares about the Ryder Cup stuff. He's a really good player. Like, he's going to be a big time player in this next Ryder Cup.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, like, he's found sort of that major form over the last 12 months as well. Like, he's 2 top 10s in the Masters and the US Open. Masters last year, US Open last night. So he's definitely found his way to tackle the toughest golf courses, which is something that was probably held against him for pretty much all of his career up until now.
Yeah.
He's definitely found a way to do it. And even in the PGA as well, last month, he was thereabouts through maybe 2.5 rounds or whatever it was. He was going well. And then he faded away. But no, he's definitely turned it around. And like as you said it, you're there as well. He's been the one live player outside of winning like a major or one of those big events who's sort of maintained his world ranking as well. Like, he's been knocking around the top 20 since he went.
Yeah.
And that's a credit to him as well, because Rahm and Cam Smith and Koepka have all, faded away in the rankings.
Anyone else, before we get into like the Irish lads, anyone else like in the top 10 up there, like Adam Scott?
Story of his life.
He kind of it was like watching a galaxy implode down the back nine, wasn't it?
I've seen the movie before.
Yeah.
I thought when he
did love seeing the fist pump for bogey on 11.
I thought because when he caught a tin and went over the back of the green, and Burns was on that upslope, I was thinking, Burns is a good chance of getting this up and down, and Scott's going to make a double here, and it's going to be all
Burns
over.
Goes
because Burns could have been way ahead, and then Burns completely double out of nowhere, and Scott with the bogey and the fist pump, and I was like, right, it's all turned. Adam Scott's had his moment here, and he just faded away pretty miserably at the end.
It's mad. Before we get into players, but like the timeline of this, like, play was suspended last night at like 9:01. I thought it was the worst thing ever. This is such a letdown of a tournament when it was like, I was so depressed. Then they come back out, and then I was like, this is just so bad. They're not going to get it finished again. They're not going to get it done. This just ruined. It's such a big anticlimax. It's ruined this tournament. And then in the space of a half an hour, this thing just exploded into life with mistakes from the guys at the top. A few birdies, like Bob Mack was coming, like, not that we seen it like we said, but like, so from 9:01 they were gone. 10:37 back out, restart time. 11:55, so just before midnight, we had a five-way tie for the lead with Burns, Scott, Spaun, Hatton, Ortiz. Like, the timeline of how things happen and how things evolve so quick just made this the ultimate major viewing down the back. Like, it was just pure consequence. It was like, he's gone. He's back again. He's back again.
Up until Spaun hit the drive on 17, you had no idea who was going to win this.
No.
Even like Cameron Young was doing his press conference after his round, and one of the questions he was asked, it was about Robert McIntyre's game, and he said, I don't really want to talk about it right now. And then the next question was, well, he's probably going to win.
Yeah.
Well, no, unfortunately not. But that's the way it was. You thought when Bob got to 1 over, right, he's on the number for at least a playoff here. But what Spaun did was incredible.
I'm just looking through stuff here, which is unbelievable. We're saying, he hold a record amount of putts, Spaun, this week. And putting definitely had a, that's what got him over the line yet. In the last 6 holes, when they came back out after, how many feet of putts did he hold, Spaun? Into 6 holes.
80 feet?
Up. Higher, Bob.
110?
Higher, Bob.
150?
Lower. 136 feet of putts in the last 6 holes on a major, on greens. Yeah, they were probably 13 and a half on the stimp. And none of the pins, we were looking at the pins even yesterday, none of the pins on the back nine were inside 8 feet. Were outside 8 feet, for like further than 8 feet from the aprons, from the like corners of the green. And 10 inches from that, you have like a wall of rough about 6 inches high. It's just crazy when you see how he performed in under that microscope.
Yeah, and like the pins were so unbelievably snaky. I don't remember very many accessible front pins at all yesterday.
No.
They all seem to be tucked in behind bunkers and tucked on shelves and everything. And like, you miss the green by a yard and you're in bits.
You're dead.
It's just incredible stuff.
You're dead. Who else though? Like, right, so we haven't got stuck into Burns.
Yeah, this didn't surprise me at all, to be honest with you. I don't rate him at all. I don't.
With it.
No, I don't. I think, like, everyone says he's the best putter on tour, and that's all fine. You can look at your strokes gained till the cows come home. You put these lads under pressure, there's your strokes gained.
Yeah.
He
strokes gained between the ears.
Honestly, like, he didn't do it in the playoff against Ryan Fox last week, and he didn't do it last night. You can harp on about the thing on 15 all you want. You can be either side of the fence there.
The drop.
Yeah, the point is he still played a terrible shot and he made a double that he should never have made.
Yeah. Oh, he should. Listen, the drop. There's a lot of crap online and all. I seen a few guys going out afterwards and like running their feet where it was. It has been raining. It was borderline. So there was no casual water. You can only get a drop if it's over the soles, if it's coming on the soles of your shoes. It's not about the ball. So it's a rules of golf issue. It's not the referee. It's not the... Compassionately, yeah, like, it would have been nice if he got a drop. But the rules of golf do say, unless there's water above the ground, which there was no water above the ground until he compressed it. He was taking practice swings. He was spraying water. He knew what he needed to do. You needed to pick it. You don't get stuck down into that ball because you are absolutely going to get water trapped between the ball and the club face. Like, he was thick. When the second referee came out, he was just like, yeah, grand, okay, go, just piss off. I'm going to do my thing here. And, yeah, he did what he did, but, yeah, he totally blew a head gasket.
Yeah, and his putter deserted him as well. Like, he still had a really, really good birdie chance on 14, and it was a really weak effort that he missed low. And I kind of thought then, yeah, you're not going to win this. I know he birdied 17, but it was far too late at that stage. I'm happy he didn't win because we've had Scotty Scheffler winning everything around him for the last month, and then the one off week he has, his best buddy wins. I was like, I couldn't bear that.
Scheffler could have won this tournament.
If Scheffler putted half decently even yesterday, never mind the previous 3 days, how terrible he played. If he held anything yesterday, I think he'd have won this.
Yeah.
Because his name would have put the pressure gas on everybody.
Scared the shit. Like, although Spaun now, in fairness to him, was just staying in his own little bubble, doing his own little thing. I love that sum up of, I don't know who it was that said it was Rich Beam, I think, at the time, and he was proved right with like 5 or 6 holes to go. The guy that's going to win this is the guy that just looks at his own ball and plays from A to B to C and doesn't know what's going on around him and just executes in the least amount of shots in his own head. Yeah. That's what's going to get over the line because you're removing, but it's so hard to do. Like,
yeah, but that's why, like, as great as McIntyre was yesterday, he's in the position where you have to leaderboard watch. Yeah. You have to know where you are so you can make this charge. Yeah. Whereas Spaun he needs to focus on his own game. But look, Scotty tied 7th, 4 over with his C game, and probably the greens ironed out the flaws in his putting, even though he's been putting pretty okay recently. If he held anything, I mean, he would have got to +1 at a minimum.
Yeah. He's going to come out with the bit between his teeth in Portrush.
I think so, yeah.
Big time.
Like, it's funny, though. I didn't want Scheffler to win, but then...
Oh, when he got up near there.
As the weekend went on, I was kind of rooting for him. I wanted him to be there just to see what happened. Because it was a leaderboard that was lacking that real big-name spark. Like, Hovland didn't really do it over the weekend at all, even though he did hang around, but it never looked like doing enough.
Yeah, like if they played another 3 or 4 holes in that golf tournament, like Scheffler and Rahm could have been in a playoff at the end of this, like at 4 over.
Rahm was like, turn this plane around.
Yeah, bring me home. But no, it was, anyone else up near the top? Like Victor. Victor was a constant throughout that final round. I was impressed watching him.
Yeah, I don't know. He looked very nervy at the start as well, and just don't think he holds enough putts.
No, he doesn't. And his iron play let him down a little bit yesterday. Some of his approaches were really stinky, but no, it was good. And then,
At one point, I was like, geez, Ortiz looks the best player here.
Oh, yeah. And they were calling it on TV as well, just going, please don't let this happen. No. Please don't let this happen. Our man just comes out of nowhere. Straight back to... Who does he play for in Liv? Fireballs or someone, or Torque,
I think. Torque. Yeah, he's with Neiman and the boys, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. There's a man actually that had a blowout this week, Neiman.
Don't get me started. I say it every time.
I
say it every
before.
time.
I say it before every major. He's one to watch now. He's
never one to watch.
On a heater. No, he's he's
no, I'm not having it.
He's taking the devil's coin, and that's
Tell you who, I think I said it last week as well, who would have been a good bet. Ben Griffin.
Yeah,
Ben Griffin's the man. And I'll up the sunglasses, up the Max 5 golf ball. This is what we want to see. This is the people's champion. I love him.
He was good. He was good. But no, Victor was... I got the amount of texts I got. My brother texted me when Victor actually hit it in on the 72nd hole to just behind where Spaun was. He has to chip this. He cannot protect the field at all costs. Where's
your integrity, Victor?
Unreal. Yeah, this is unreal. And he gave him the perfect line. And in fairness, Spaun didn't need much encouragement to do what he did. But right,
I want to know where Spawn's putter ended up. He launched that thing directly at the crowd.
Yeah, the caddy ruined it as well.
Why?
Just coming in too quick. Like Spaun was mid celebration, the caddy jumping on him. You goes, let the man. We need these photos. Let the man celebrate. You know, you're going to be sacked by the end of this year.
Yeah, he actually has I was looking at Getty there last night, looking for the photograph. It's a terrible, terrible selection of photographs.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. There's no iconic. Like the caddy is like on him within 2 seconds. Like he's sort of walking away, and then even they try to high five and stuff. They miss. They start hugging each other, and then the tears were out, and then that's it. There's no good photographs after that.
There's a great one of him actually standing up, and his kids are just kneeling down looking at the trophy. That's the only decent one.
Yeah, that's good. I love that sort of stuff. He's a good family man. Right, we've put it off. We're 36 minutes. We haven't mentioned the R word or the SL words.
Oh.
Right, our two little upstarts, Rory and Shane. Rory and Shane. What do we like? Where do we start with these?
Rory drove the ball very well.
Oh, he did, yeah.
He drove the ball very well.
And he done a beautiful interview before he went out on course on Sunday morning with the Golf Channel. Really nice chat. Let's go back to Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. Well,
what?
he hates everybody, doesn't he?
What a prick.
Oh, yeah, he's been a bit of a dickhead.
It's
very hard to love you, Rory, at the moment.
Well, I'm his biggest fan, but I'm looking at that interview he did, and he's surrounded by,
Kimage.
But you have guys that are good to him.
Yeah, like you get
like Paul Kimmage, and you have Winker Watson from the BBC and Greg Allen from RTE, and he's
who've been nothing but like faithful to him and everything.
Exactly, for like 15 years, followed him everywhere, did everything, and then he sort of I did give him a little bit like there's something pissing him off beyond the driver. There's something really, really annoying him that's after happening over the last 2 weeks, but you cannot take it out on the media like that publicly.
No, it was very poor from McIlroy.
Just come out and say if you've something wrong.
But he's been tetchy now for weeks. Like this isn't.
No, it's not new.
Since winning this wasn't how it was supposed to be. Since winning the Grand Slam, it's not been this blaze of glory parade like stuff at all. It's been anything but. It's nearly like winning the Grand Slam was the worst thing that could have happened to him.
Yeah.
Because he's just completely changed on and off the golf course. That being said, like Thursday, 200 par through 9, playing absolutely beautifully, and then 6 over on the back 9. I mean, it was like it's been the tale of two Rorys this year at the moment, and we saw the pre-Grand Slam and the post-Grand Slam in one round, and then Friday was just a nightmare. And then again, he played really, really well on Saturday after those two double bogeys, and it's those two double bogeys that's pretty much just prevent him from being in the mix. But yeah, like, I don't know what to make him. Like he spoke really well about Portrush, in fairness, like that. If you can't get up for that, like there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's worrying. There's something going on. It's not reassessing goals or anything like that. Like we were saying, like what did Tiger Woods do when Johnny Miller talking about that?
Yeah,
like, what did Tiger Woods do?
They were looking for the next peak.
Yeah, like when Tiger won, what did he want? Then he get up the next day and try to do it again. Like you're a golfer, that's your job. Is just get out and get on with it, do it. I know it's very easy for me to say, but there's something else going on. This is not normal behavior by Rory McIlroy. He kind of needs to be called out. It's just a bit petulant. It's not, it's not like him.
No. Something's definitely amiss there, and it is. Look, it was disappointing because, as we said, like he rightly has been hammered over the last 15 years or whatever it is throughout his career. But there's so many lads who've like been on the fence for him and died on the hill with him. And so many people who were just so delighted in that media centre when he won in Augusta 2 months ago. And he's kind of giving them the two fingers.
What was that like being there for that press? Oh, sorry. Deep burn.
You can continue this on your own.
Right, so he gets a little bit. Now, what was Shane Lowry at?
That was funny.
Yeah, do you think it was funny?
It was funny. Come on.
Oh, the picking the ball up was funny. Yeah.
That's what I thought we're on about here.
No, I'm on about his whole attitude. Is what is that? If my kids were on the golf course and acted like Shane Lowry did, and Rory, we put him in the same
Rory
boat.
more so. Lowry in recent weeks, but Rory more so last week.
But I'm just saying this week, if my kids acted like that, I'd hold them off the golf course like a clip in the ear. It's so bad. It's just the petulance.
Your kids should be playing hurling.
Yeah, they're hurling county now.
But no, I get what you like. Larry, he's rubbed a lot of people up the wrong way. I don't think he's got there's no real great love for Larry, I don't think, in the US and the UK. And he's starting to rub a lot of the Irish fans up the wrong way now as well. But I did think picking the ball up was funny. And he took it really well in his media interview.
No, it was funny.
I did not think we were going to hear from Larry at all week.
No.
And there was the real Larry there on, what was it, Friday? With Greg, with the lads, laughing and joking. That's the real Shane Lowry there. Like this thick, I don't know, whatever's going on with him on the golf course. When he's so close to winning, he nearly looks as far away at times too. He's
just too hard on himself.
Far too hard on himself.
Far too, is it, would you, there's the thing, I know it didn't transpire this week, but, if you were to go back to this time, this day last week and say, right, line up, we're talking about Cleveland tricks and stuff, line up all their players. So you have JJ Spaun, you have Rory, or you have JJ Spaun, you have Lowry and Brooks, all the, you'd pick Lowry going into this tournament all day.
Yeah, you would have, and I did.
Picked him all day.
He owes me a $5.
Then JJ does what he does, but you put it down the same with a Sepp Straka and stuff like that. Look what Straka has done with
Straka. Straka's one of those players who's performing really well in the PGA Tour, but not in the majors.
Yeah, and Lowry's a better player than all of those players.
Yeah, maybe not Brooks, but pound for pound, he's
Lowry's a better
player
player than Brooks now.
Do you think?
Yeah, if you take
both on their day.
On their day. On their day, if their day is this year or last year, Brooks has gone off the boil. He's, he's under-golfed. I said that about Hatton last week. But no, I just, he's a head-scratcher, Shane. If he, I don't know. I don't know,
Far be it from me to say, but he hit one putt on the Thursday, and I couldn't believe the stance he was taking. I was like, there's something amiss here.
Just narrow.
Very narrow, and his left foot is miles behind his right foot. Yeah. It's like he's aiming up for a fade. I don't know. There's something gone awry on the greens, and it's so incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, because he's one of the best A to B players in the world, ball striking, but no. Yeah, it annoyed me. It annoyed me more than it should watching him. Just be angry. I'd hate to be Darren Reynolds listening to him.
Yeah.
For the first 2 days, because Darren got both barrels a lot, and you could audibly hear it. I don't know, with TV stuff, these lads won't be happy. The TV guys should flip the narrative on them. Just don't show them.
You have to show them.
But
it's great TV.
It is, but
Larry throwing the microphone was great stuff.
Yeah, it's infuriating some of it. Right. We've let them lads off easy as well. We're just sort of certain you can't. I know it's a major week.
There's no point talking about it.
It's a major week. Yeah, they don't want to talk to the media, so we won't talk about them. Right. Anything else you want to cover off on Oakmont?
No, just bring it there every year. That's what I want. Bring it there every year.
I said this last year.
Bring it there
last
every year.
week. If they had a choice, they would. It's backloads, though. It is backloads. Right, what else did we have going on in the world of golf?
The men's amateur championship is on this week. Probably should start with that. We've 18 players in the field, 36 holes of stroke play qualifying across Royal St. George's and Royal Cinque Ports, which I think actually Cinque Ports is where GMAC is going to be trying to final qualify for the Open, if I'm not mistaken. But Stewie Graham, David Howard and Gavin Tiernan pre-qualified for this. And the early scores are pretty good. Stuart Graham's 5 under through 9. sharing second place. Josh Hill shot an opening 67. He's 3 under, tied 12th. Gavin Tiernan and Jack Murphy are both 3 under through 12. And yeah, so it's been pretty low scoring so far, and good scoring from the Irish, with the top 64 after 36 holes going through to the match play stages. Only 2 Irish made it through last year in Ballyliffin, so definitely hope that should light a bit of a fire under some arses to make a decent showing. Rebecca Gardner was in the women's amateur then as well. She was knocked out in the last 32. She was 4 up, with maybe 3 or 4 up before the play, and her opponent birdied the last 3 holes to bring it to a playoff, and then birdied the 21st to win. So that was unfortunate. Again, only 2 Irish girls made it through as well. Beth Coulter was beaten in the last 64, and then Lauren Walsh was 5th on the LET. She just keeps knocking on that door.
Yeah.
But no, lots of good stuff. And then with the Flogas Women's Irish Amateur Championship this week in Headfort as well. So bit of an interesting one. A lot of the big hitting girls who would have been there usually are now all-term pro. So I'm hoping for a Beth Coulter or Olivia Costello shootout on Monday.
That'd be savage.
That would be a good watch.
Headfort will be good venue for it as well.
Yeah, it will. Like, it's playing on the new course, the championship course. So, like, ordinarily a very long golf course. So it'll be interesting to see what tees they put them off and what the scoring is like as well. Because the weather, in fairness, is supposed to be really good. So I'm hoping that the girls go and put on a good show.
Yeah, that'll be good. Right. What else are we?
Challenge Tour. Max Kennedy was 11th. Really, really good showing from Max. Because he kind of he'd gone sort of quiet in recent weeks as well. But he's hopefully now going to put a consistent run of form together, because I expect big things from Max. He finished 11 shots off the lead in the end, final round of 70 on 10 under par. But like, he's up to 72nd in the road to Mallorca now. Like, I think the top 70 get automatic status next year. I think maybe the top 45 make it through to that road to Mallorca grand final in November. I want to see Max there. I think he's a chance of getting a deep World Tour card if he can get there. And I think for him and Liam will probably be there at this stage. I think we can get more Irish there, the better as well. And the more Irish have a chance of getting through, the better. And himself and Liam are definitely 2 that you'd have earmarked as potentially making that step up next year.
Yeah. Brendan Lawler.
Yeah.
Good win.
Well, yeah, he cruised to it. Like,
he did.
Cruised to the ISPS Handa Irish Open for players with a disability. Yeah, really, really good stuff. And to be honest with Bren, if he could have put it at all, he'd have won this by 20 shots. I mean, he played unbelievable. I think he missed 2 greens all week. I know it was only over 2 rounds, but still. But like the lads are saying, I was talking to Cian Arthurs after, when Brendan's playing full time and he's in this form, he's virtually unplayable.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like,
he said, it's a big difference.
Like, it's funny, he's been knocking on the door of a win for the last couple of years and been consistently outdone by Kip Popper. Now he's got 3 big ones on the CV this year. 2 G4D Opens as well. Yeah, that's the way it goes. And like he said, actually, he's been he's been the one who's really sort of carried the flag for the G4D thing and disability golf, and he's pretty much admitted that kind of weighed on him as well. It took a lot of energy out of him, so he's sort of taken a step back, because he said he actually wasn't getting that much mileage out of it anyway, which is a bit disappointing for him. So he took a back seat and just focused on his golf, and it's paid dividends. Because
he's a cracking little player. He is a proper player. He's good. Like, when you see him in action, like, he's so sharp. No, it's good. Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
That's it.
Nothing else noted.
Nothing else noted, right? So we'll crack straight into our heroes and villains.
Do you want to go first?
You said you've loads. I only have. So I start off with villains. So Gary Player villain of the week. Like, I do want to call out Rory and Shane for their antics. I'll have them in this category, but I don't think anyone's going to get close to Wyndham Clark this week, to be honest.
No.
I'm hoping you have him in your list. So anyone that hasn't seen it, like, Wyndham Clark came in, I think it was after the second round. Smashed in 2 lockers in Oakmont. Like, these are historic and original lockers. Depending on the area they're in that locker room, like, they may not be able to replace them. Like, they're from the early 1900s. It's history. It's just unacceptable. They should ban him from Oakmont.
Yeah, they actually should.
They should. And the next time, if he's qualified for any other USGA events in the future, just say sorry, no.
Yeah, put him out at 7 o'clock in the morning.
No, just don't let him in. Don't let him in.
Ban him from the US Open forever.
Ban him from Oakmont. That's it. Good luck. It's unacceptable. It's not good. It's not. Like, it's just petulance again. Yeah, I'm not a big Wyndham Clark fan anyway, but yeah.
No, I've gone off him recently, to be honest. He's a bit whingy.
All I see is I'm trying to send me sunglasses online now on Instagram. Don't want your sunglasses, Wyndham. Right?
No, don't want anything off
back
you,
in your
Wyndham.
box. I want you to fix the feckin' locker.
Yeah, he usually may fix the locker.
Can you imagine giving him a screwdriver? Him, Pat Cantley behind him, the tool man. Oh yeah, I think this is a Phillips head there. No. Right.
Lefty loosey, righty tighty.
Who are you vilifying this week then?
I've gone for Rory, just for throwing the club. Now, he threw one really impressively off the bag and into his hand. That was
Top
impressive.
Tracer picked it up and everything.
That nearly put him in the Pádraig Harrington Hero of the Week for execution. But don't mind lads like, slamming clubs and taking swipes of the rope, but to break a tee marker, like when you've got your fellow competitors coming in behind you as well to play, it was really, really poor from Rory. My other villain, of course,
I'm sure you thought they were made of like timber and not
not plastic.
Plastic idiots.
My other villain is, of course, Wyndham Clark, and my other villain, just for Mark McGowan, our fellow Irish golfer colleague and regular contributor to the pod, Jim McGuinness.
Oh, really?
Shut up.
But he's winning matches.
Gobshite. Stop whinging and get on with it.
Oh, God. Right, Heroes of the Week. Paddy Harrington, Heroes of the Week.
Oakmont.
Who are we giving the villain to, actually?
Who are we giving the villain? Wyndham.
Has to be Wyndham.
You can't just batter in lockers.
Yeah.
My hero of the week are those church pew bunkers.
Right.
Just because it made Scotty Scheffler, the world's biggest Bible basher, take the Lord's name in vain.
On a church pew.
He's so whingy when things aren't going his way.
Yeah.
My other heroes, Tyrrell Hatton and Robert McIntyre, both of them for their reactions towards JJ's win, when both could have rightly have been absolutely devastated, and I'm sure they were, especially Hatton as well. He had it in his grasp and let it slip. But I thought, Hatton was delighted for Spaun, and obviously we've all seen the video of McIntyre clapping in the score or something, saying, wow, fair play.
Yeah. No, I'd have Bob up there as a hero shout out for the week, but it has to be Spaun. Like JJ Spaun. It's a simple, easy thing. I like grafters like him. I like the underdog story. He ticked every box for me this week, and like we highlighted earlier on, he was the best player in every condition that golf course threw at him. He excelled. He was the only man to break par in that golf course. I love a golf tournament that ends like that. And yeah, JJ Spaun, hero of the week. And Paddy Harrington would have loved that type of golf as well.
Yeah, he would have.
Like, Harrington, as a purist of the game, would have really, really liked that.
You'll definitely talk about it for an hour now on some random podcast.
Right, that's it. We will be back again next week, hopefully with an amateur champion. It'd be nice if Stuart has a good run at it.
I think he will.
Yeah, so do I.
And a good run here opens up those Walker Cup doors.
And the Masters.
And the Masters, yeah, bloody hell, and the Open as well.
You won't be giving him advice if he wins this about how to get into America, right? Like that. That's a second dig. Now Mead are going well, I'm just pulling the punches. Now, if you are looking for somewhere to play this weekend, we have Irish Golfer events. We're in Bunclody. There is still some time left on the sheet. If you go to irishgolfer.ie/events, there's a bit of time there available. Great day out, great prizes, great bunch of lads. That's it for us from this week. We'll talk to you next week.